If you're someone who's new to the channel, you may not know, I'm a completely no money spent player. And as you can see with my team here, I've built up a God squad. So today, I thought what I would do is break down all the different ways you could earn players, break down how as a no money spent player you should go about building your team the right way, tell you which modes and stuff you should be playing first so you can build up your team the right way, what you should be doing with your stubs as a no money spent player, and finally the players that you should be holding on to and the players that you should be selling, all the things that go into building the proper no money spent team. Let's get into it. So before we get into the actual tips on building the proper no money spent team, I thought I would point out a couple proper tips that I see a lot of people mistake with, things that people mess up as no money spent players that make building a team a longer process than it has to. First of all, you're going to want to use as many free to earn players as possible. Just in general, if you're not spending money buying stubs and directly buying players on the market, you want to be able to earn players without paying stubs. That's kind of the goal. Things like team affinity and things like that in offline modes, or maybe just playing, say, ranked seasons and trying to earn rewards yourself, will always be the most beneficial rather than buying them, and you could spend those stubs elsewhere in other players you may need. 2, you're not going to want to buy packs all the time. One thing I noticed a lot of people do is they get into the habit of buying a lot of packs on the market, and I get that it's fun. It's cool being a no money spent player where you can have subs to spend and buy packs and have some fun, but keep in mind there's a risk with buying packs. It's not going to usually work out. You kind of got to accept that, hey, you're doing it for fun. If something bad happens, that's just a part of it. It's just not financially smart with your subs to buy packs and just hope you get lucky. And third of all, you're going to want to use those stubs that you aren't spending on packs to buy any missing pieces or players that you need directly, put in buy orders on the market, and just be patient and buy them that way instead of hoping you get lucky in a pack. It just makes life a lot easier. When you do build up your team properly, you can fill in any sort of missing needs by just buying them directly on the market. Having packs be a discrepancy could really hurt your sub count and make being a no money spent player 10 times more difficult than it actually should be. But now, let's get into what is the best and fastest way to build up a no money spent God squad, and how you could build up a team like mine, for example, where you get a really competitive, actually God squad team without spending a single dime on stubs. First of all, you're going to want to complete your team affinity. As of right now, Team Affinity Season 3 is the best way to earn players and build up a God squad. A lot of these players you get from TA3 are 96 to 98 overalls. There's even 199 in Jacob deGrom. So you get a lot of really good players that'll last for a good while. Also, Team Affinity programs from seasons past will lead you to guys like Edward Cabrera. And if you are someone who has played MLB the Show for a good bit, have a good idea of how to complete Team Affinity and are just trying to catch up with the crowd, Team Affinity is going to be your best way to do that. If you are confused on how to complete that, I do have a video on the channel on how to beat TA. This video up here will show you how to do that. And overall, these will give you the large majority of the players that you could be using on your team right now. You get a lot of good relievers, most of your starting rotation, and a large portion of your lineup could be earned just by doing TA3. It really isn't the hardest thing ever. You just kind of got to be patient, and you just work on building up the team by doing this, and it is right now the best way to build up a team. So next we have our tops now and monthly award programs. I'm kind of lumping them together because I think they kind of coincide. But if you're someone who does not have much of a team to use right now, maybe you don't have stubs to play with and you are just starting from square one, this is a really good way to go about building your team. Doing those tops now moments will give you a ton of solid diamonds that are getting better and better as the days go on. And even though they are lower overalls than a lot of the other cards in the game right now, if you're just looking to build up a team from scratch, this will be a great fast way to get a hold of diamonds. And you could use those tops now moments in your monthly award programs and you get some of the better cards in the game. For example, that 98 Kyle Schwarber is, in my opinion, the best catcher in the game as of right now, and is definitely an end game catcher option. Lefty bat, so definitely an end game catcher, and all you have to do is complete the monthly awards program. And the concept of how this would work, if you did Team Affinity Season 3, kind of filled out the team with as many players as you wanted to use, and then do your monthly award programs and just kind of combine players from those two. If you look at my team, for example, a lot of the players are very much from the monthly award programs, from the team affinity, and you kind of lump them together onto your God squad and you could build out a really good competitive team. A lot of the other players are players that you'll be using just to kind of take up space until you get better players. Now, a lot of the tops now monthly award players that aren't the lightning card are very solid still, but you probably won't be using for the longest. But players like that Brian Reynolds, Carlos Correa, and the other lightning cards could be really valuable to add to your team when you're starting to build up and you don't want to spend stubs to buy anyone. Next, we have our collections. And the thing with collections is that people assume that you need to spend a large amount of stubs on this, and if you're no money spent, this could be very difficult to complete. But for me, I have a lot of collections. I have Mariano, I got it done first day, and I'm anticipating getting the next one done first day. If you're smart with your stubs and you aren't buying certain players you don't need to buy, and you're using as many free to earn players as possible, then you could really go for your collections. You could spend those stubs buying live series players to go for Chipper Jones, Soriano, and Poppy, which are all end game cards. You could spend those stubs buying the legends and flashbacks that are cheaper on the market and start stashing them away for this upcoming collection, and also getting 99 Mariano. You could also get the 42 series players and work towards that 99 Jackie Robinson, who is also an end game second baseman. Or you could spend those stubs, buy some of the home run derby and all-star game players, work towards 99 Shohei, that 99 Prince Fielder, and that Ryan Sandberg, which also will give you some solid players to use on your team. The final way to basically build up a God Squad is by going to the market and just buying them directly, or just going to online play like ranked seasons, events, and I'm going to also lump inning programs into this just because they take a while to complete, and basically completing those modes and earning those players for free, or just buying them and whatever you need to do. So for example, in ranked seasons, I completed and got to World Series. I got Goose Gossage and I kept him. I completed the BR program. I got that 99 Jansen, but ended up selling him for stubs so I could work on those collections. Overall, your own money spent, it's really valuable to play these online modes to either keep the players for yourself or sell for stubs for you to use elsewhere. And at this point, if you do your Team Affinity monthly awards, if you did other things, now you could start really pushing for the players that you really want. Save those stubs and start building up that stub pile until you get that 99 player that you really want, or just in general, is buy whatever players you want on the market to build your team. Just keep in mind, if you're no money spent and you don't have many subs to play with, you want to use as many of those free to earn players, and only buy these players when you have the stubs to do it. And a lot of no money spent players I know will spend their stubs towards building up collections and working towards these things. You obviously have to work towards it when you're not pulling out your credit card and buying 500,000 stubs. So they like to dedicate their stubs to buying players for that collection and working on that, so when that stuff drops, you'll be able to get the hold of that. And then you use those free to earn players along with the players you earn for collections and kind of build up a God Squad, kind of like what I do, where I have Soriano, Chipper, and all those collection players. And as you see on my team, I've got a good mix of collection players and also players that I earn from inning programs in those modes. And I'm at a position now where, since I did build up my team with those free to earn players, I could dedicate my stubs towards getting those more expensive players and throwing them on the team. And overall, when you're no money spent, this year it's probably been the easiest it ever has been, and really the concept is trying to do what you can to earn stubs, whether you play ranked, BR, events, and completing those programs and selling those players for stubs, and then spending your stubs on other things that would be more valuable, like collections, instead of just buying players on the market. Obviously, if you're not a no money spent player, this could still very much help you, but a lot of times if you just spend money on buying subs to get a player right away, you're not really saving up subs from other things. You're not going to be only using free to earn offline players. So a part of being no money spent is that you get what you put in. You got to put in time, grind out things your own, and build up the sub count, build up the inventory, and do things on your own to earn stubs instead of buying them. But luckily this year it's very doable, and there are plenty of ways to do it. And hopefully this is a good enough direction to help you guys build up a God Squad, all the money spent. If for some reason I missed anything, or if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment section. I hope I covered everything. I know for some who are very passionate about this game, this stuff may kind of sound redundant because a lot of us who play the game all the time, it just becomes normal. You grind out ranked, BR, whatever those modes, earn those stubs, buy other players, and you just go for Team Affinity and stuff. But for people who are newer, or people who haven't been playing MLB the Show as much, it's easy to get mixed up and confused on how you can really build such a good squad, no money spent, without even spending a single dime on stubs. But I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you learned something new. But that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you all again on the next one. Deuces.